What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. The Sharks win. They're going streaking, baby. You got to start with one, and then you can get to two. Maybe not, but you got to start with one somewhere. And they won 4-3 in a shootout over the lowly Islanders. I call them lowly because Sharks win. We're douchebags again. Sharks lose. We're trading everybody. Also, San Jose Barracuda, we see you. We see you guys. Come on the podcast, Barracuda. That's all I have to say.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, Kyle Dimitri, is back with me as always, his co-host, JD, the between the legs Deke to my Peter Forsberg Deke.
The Peter Forsberg Deke is so nice.
But it's the greatest Deke of all time. It literally was on a stamp.
Yes, that's awesome.
I'm pretty sure he busted that out in the Olympics. Well, not pretty sure. I know he did. Olympics or World Juniors? I'm pretty sure Olympics. It was the first time we ever saw that.
Should have done it World Juniors, the superior of the hockey event.
Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Sharks win.
Yay!
They win the Tankathon Cup.
Or lose the Tankathon Cup.
Or lose, depending on how you feel.
But I mean,
should we address the elephant in the room that you're an absolute asshole? And how dare you want to trade Alexander Barabanov, the world's greatest hockey player?
I'm sorry that I think that if you could turn Antti-Suomela into second, third round pick, like reasonably a second, third round pick for a guy who's not going to fit your. But anyway, that's not what we're gonna.
Hold on. We should put it out there. Hold on. Okay. We got to put this out there, and I agree with you. It's hard to verbalize things on Twitter, but the thing I think, and I'm not trying to say people are dumb or anything like that, but I think the thing that people forget is that he's not 22.
If he was
27.
Yeah, if he was 22, 23, I'd be like, you sign him, that's found money right there.
Exactly. But you're not improving past the age of like 25, 26. Could you stay the same? True, yes, but you're typically not. And please, people, don't say Joe Pavelski got better in old age. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rules, and like Sidney Crosby, who's like the third greatest player of all time, clearly has a longer lifespan of being amazing. But for a regular player, this is his ceiling. Probably he could maybe get a scotch better, but the risk is all downside if he doesn't improve to where you need to sign him. So signing him to like a 4x4.
Or what I think what's a 3x4 or whatever. So you're gonna pay him 4 times as much money for what he's doing right now.
Yeah, that's the thing is that, and the Sharks aren't good, and I don't think they're going to be all that good next year. So now you're
after. It's like,
yeah. So like, where does he fit into this thing? I think that's where people need to like. Everybody loves their own prospects. Everybody loves their own players. When people do fake trades, we do it too. We try to give away the trash for good players. We try not to, but we do. Barabanov turned out to be quite good after his 9-game sample. I just don't think you can think he's going to be this way until he's 32 years old. And even the Sharks probably aren't going to be good.
So even if you do sign him and stuff, he's going to get replaced at some point, and then you're going to be overpaying him, right? Because like you think you're hoping Robbins or Ko or Gushin or one of these guys that you have spent a draft equity in and that you've been developing, they're going to be better than him and taking his place at some point. And then basically, it's like you're signing him to, hold the fort for now. And then 2 years from now, if he's making $4 million or whatever, and it's like he's going to be, you're hoping that someone's better than him by that point. So, and it's, if the moment you sign him, he loses all value.
Like if you're trading him for like a 6, then no.
Yes, he's more valuable than that. But if there's somebody, if somebody offers you a second, and then hey, look, you just recouped your Aiden Hill value right there, like type of thing. So
yeah, and you made a good point. Like he's valuable to the Colorados, the Floridas, the Torontos, the St. Louis's because he makes $1 million.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He makes $1 million. Toronto just had to put Jake Muzzin on IR. They can afford $1 million. He's valuable, and then he comes off the books and he can do whatever he wants and get his Robbie Fabry deal. He's not valuable at $4 million or $3 million for 4 more years because that's now you got to figure out your cap a little longer. He's probably still valuable, but he's not valuable like he's now. But anyway, he actually played really well, so he's pretty sweet.
Yes.
When you think
every game he just amazing grade A chance passes. You know, he had 2 tonight, 1 to Hurdle and 1 to Timo, where just neither guy could finish, but like he just sets these guys up, and you know that's again, you've turned Antti Suomela, who probably had no future with the team, into a very valuable player. And then if you can turn around and turn a very valuable player into a future asset. So anyway, that's my whole thing. So my dog's mad at me about the whole idea, apparently.
Yeah,
so
whatever. We got to ask questions. We can't. We're not the podcast that kowtows.
No,
to corporate.
We're trying to save the franchise. So
yeah, we've done it once. We have to do it again. God, it's hard being Batman out here. But I think it's a reasonable thing to bring up. And we'll talk about hard trades and like the Hurdle trade. We don't want to trade Hurdle, but
we love Hurdle. Hurdle's amazing. He's fun to watch. I'm going to miss watching so much Hurdle on a night-to-night basis. But
hey, they won. He's not going anywhere now.
He's not going
180.
They're going to the playoffs.
Overtime win where they got outplayed the whole
shootout.
Game.
Yeah, not even
and they got outplayed.
Yes.
Should we? Let's talk about 5v5 play on the other side. First, a good play is having Built Bars in part of your diet because they're a lot healthier. New year, new me. If you're still going on, it's almost March. If you're keeping it up, congratulations. Maybe you got that Peloton. You're still going. Maybe you're going to the gym. Fit for Less or something like that. We have that up here. The cheap gyms that are like $25 for a month. Maybe you're just crushing it. Maybe you've just switched your diet. I'm not saying you have to go on a diet plan. Those are stupid. But if you just tweak some things in your diet, eat a little bit differently, eat a little bit better, you can add Built Bars because Built Bars only have about 130 calories. They have 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. When you're driving into work, driving home from work, and you stop at the gas station, you grab a regular chocolate bar, they've got about 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs. And I know you're thinking, oh, protein bars, they taste like shit. They're chalky, they're chemically. Sometimes they got that waxy chocolate on the outside. They crumble sometimes. They're not very good. Those will hurt your jaw when you're eating them because they're so densely packed. That's not what's going to happen with Built Bar because they taste just like chocolate bars because they're covered in 100% real chocolate. And they have 1 million different flavors. That's scientifically proven. 1 million flavors. Coconut brownie, double chocolate, peanut butter, probably a mint. They always have new flavors at the holidays. Easter's coming up if you celebrate. Otherwise, you just get a day off work. But who knows? Maybe they'll have Peeps flavored. Maybe they'll have mini eggs flavored. And if protein bars aren't quite your thing, maybe you're a marshmallow person, Built Bar has the first ever protein-infused marshmallow. And yes, they are marshmallows. And they're still covered in 100% real chocolate. And they have cool flavors. Cinnamon churro, the best flavor of the whole catalog. Coconut marshmallow and banana cream pie and more. So go to built.com. Use promo code LOCKED15, just down here. And get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKED15, LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. So 5v5, the Sharks are brutal.
Oh, yeah. It was, again, just...
Let's see if we got some stats.
The Sharks tonight, 5v5, gave up 37 shots to their 24. The Islanders had an expected goals for of 2.28 to the Sharks at 1.51. This is an Islanders team that we talked about yesterday was hard, like just doesn't generate a lot of offense. Just the high danger chances, they were pretty close. So the Sharks are going for a little bit quality over quantity of 10-8, but scoring, and same thing with the scoring chances. But yeah, it was just poor James Reimer. I think the Sharks went like 10 minutes into the third period before they got their first shot in a tied game. Like James Reimer tonight was a man among boys, just doing everything he can. He stole this win for the Sharks in a game that they did not deserve to win.
Yeah, I think he had 44 saves when it was all said and done. Plus he stopped
and then stopped all 3 in the shootout. So yeah.
The 5v5, I don't know what happened, but the 5v5 play is cratered. The Sharks, Wizards on the penalty kill. They've killed like 18 in a row now.
Yeah.
Which is sick. Power play
goals.
Alive.
Yes.
Logan Couture single-handedly dragging the corpse of the power play back to respectability. Ryan Merkley primary assist.
We see you. Yeah.
The fake clapper pass is setting things up.
Yep.
The Ryan Merkley experience was all over tonight.
It was
very, very similar to the Brent Burns experience.
It was very similar, but he's played 16 NHL games in his career. Like these nights are going to happen, but you see those flashes. Like, yeah, he let a guy get by him, but then he was there to help Reimer out on the wraparound. Like as long as he's making up for some mistakes, and you see it in the offensive, and he has that creativity in the offensive zone, and on the power play, it's not that way. Brent Burns can sit on the bench for once every 20 minutes and catch a breather
every calendar year.
Yeah.
I just think what Šimek gives you, it's nothing. You know what Vlasic's giving you. Why not let the guy who's going to give you possibly a higher ceiling and make mistakes, let him work through that instead of having him to play perfect. Martin St. Louis, new coach of the Habs, who's never coached before at any level, which is sick. I love that play by the Habs. He talked about how people seem to be playing better, and especially Cole Caulfield. And he's like, hey, I don't want them to go out there because in my career, I gripped the stick. I'm paraphrasing, gripped the stick too tight, and I thought I had to play perfect all the time. I just want the boys to go out there and play hockey. Not something the Sharks coaching staff subscribes to. Jonathan Dahlin immediately thrown to the fourth line. Ryan Merkley benched constantly. It's
Cogliano literally said they have to play a perfect game to win, and it's
also said that.
Yes. And speaking about some of the guys, let's go with Dahlin, who definitely he's going through struggles. Again, he is a rookie. That's going to happen. You're going to have up and down nights, but like the moment he makes a mistake, it's like, okay, you're done. Guess how many minutes Dahlin played tonight?
12.
8 minutes, 22 seconds.
Was that the lowest on the team?
No. Weatherby had a goal, but definitely had some defensive miscues on the first 2 goals. He played 6:58, and then Veal played 7:10, but Veal also, God bless you, Veal, fighting Zdeno Chara. But, it's like, these guys are young. They're rookies. But all these guys are rookies, right? Like, they're going to make mistakes. You know how you get better from those mistakes? You keep playing and working through them. And I think, they talked about the broadcast where it's just like, yeah, Dahlin just doesn't have his confidence. Well, how can you have your confidence if the first time you make a mistake, guess what? See you later. You're going down to the fourth line. And even on the fourth line, they played, no minutes, especially basically after the second period, you didn't see that line again. Like, how are you supposed to work through these issues and work through this stuff? If the Sharks were like in the middle of a playoff race or something like that, I get it. You got to win every game type of thing. But like, what are you doing right now? Very extreme Cowboys. What are we doing here right now?
Because it's just so funny that Dahlin has 11 goals and they're just like, nah,
that's fine. So yeah, it's the Bob Boughner thing of like, and he's not the only one. Every coach does this, whereas they're going to lean on the veterans because you know exactly what you're going to get, and you don't take the upside of this.
I think that's my thing is that you know what you're getting out of Cogliano or Nieto or whatever, and it's
we don't hate these guys. They're fine. They're
just capped. They're veterans. We know what they're getting. I'd rather take the
perfectly cromulent players. I'd want to see Dahlin, who could potentially be a 25 goal scorer in this league, get better.
Matt Nieto got in a fight.
Mate, what a night!
It was his first career fight, which is sick. He also fought Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Doesn't fight, which is sick. I would call it a draw.
Very quick. That was a 2
Veal lost.
Yeah, poor Veal. But hey, Chara wanted to fight him. Middleton said Chara wanted to fight him, and you got to give it to Veal. I mean, that is how much money would it take you to fight Chara?
Not as much money as it would take me to replace the gas pump in my car.
Well, we're not doing gas pump tonight, so.
Oh no!
Yes.
I would put down a lot of money on Chara winning a fight, and you know where I can do that? Bet online.
This is
free promo for rockauto.com.
Yes, or our friends over at rockauto.com. BetOnline.net has got you covered wherever you would like to place bets on weird things, but football might be over, but basketball's in full steam with both pro and college hoops. March Madness is right around the corner. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props to where the next coach will be fired, BetOnline is the number one spot for your sports betting needs. BetOnline remains the best spot for your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. It's not just basketball. BetOnline.net's got you covered for hockey, boxing, UFC, odds right to baseball, whenever that may happen. So head over to their website today. Use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
What do let's just a quick little quote roundup. I don't like when podcasts just read quotes, but it's Bugner and Reimer is coming up with timely saves. Yeah.
We know James Reimer was the man tonight.
Bugner. Okay, so Bugner talked about Veal fighting Chara. That was something to see. I don't if he wanted to do it because Chara broke the record tonight. That was a little bit of a mismatch, but you've got to give Veal credit. He's trying to stick around and make an impression every night. God, coaches love nothing more than dudes who have low skill and just are gritty.
Veal's never leaving the lineup again.
Nothing more than a guy that's going to give you 2 goals and 16 fights in a year. They just love it. It's like catnip. It's like drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still pining. I would still be okay with a Dullin, Weatherby, Gregor, 4th line.
That would be spicy.
That would be something. If you're gonna put Dullin down there, make it spicy.
At least give him some friends. So.
Yeah, they can all play 6 minutes together. Bugner then continued. The one thing we talked about during this skid is man, Ross, you got spelling mistakes, bro. Get it together, buddy. This is hard to read. Bugner, the one thing we talked about during this skid is being a tougher team to play against, and that has nothing to do with fighting. It's going to the wall for each other. Well, sure seems like it's something to do with fighting. I think all of these like getting tougher to play against quotes.
You know what's tough to play against?
Are bad news for like Merkley, Jalan.
Yeah. Anybody with any skill. Yes.
Yeah. Gregor gets by because he fast. Gregor go burr.
So, but yeah, it's the same thing where, you know what's really tough to play against when your team scores like 4 or 5 goals a night. Look at the Florida Panthers. They're just tonight. Like, we're going to score a bajillion goals on you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, because we have skill up and down the lineup. But anyway, whatever.
It's just the way that the team is going to be. I'm very worried about the 5v5 play.
Oh, it's atrocious right now. Especially they can string together like 3, 4, 5 good shifts, and then it's like coached for the next period.
They scored 2 times tonight. They scored, and then like literally a minute later, the Islanders scored.
Yep.
I think one of them was literally the next shift,
like 19 seconds.
Not even a minute. The
Sharks are a special team, like a special teams team. Yeah, a special teams team right now. So, yeah, let's have some fun.
I just the 5v5 play is going to come back to bite them against Boston, Colorado, the Ducks.
Oh, those games are going to be
yes, the Kings. Oh, they do play. They have a back-to-back this weekend. Boston on Saturday, Seattle Sunday night. And I believe before we start, I said the Ducks game might be the blip, or the Islanders game where they win. They look a little bit better. I thought they looked better in the Ducks game. They looked way worse in the Islanders game. They got one of their wins. They blipped. I have a feeling we might be on the downside of the blip here. Yep. Seattle could be another little bump, but I'm unsure. I would be more sure that they had something cooking if the 5v5 play just wasn't an absolute crater.
Yeah, it's not good right now. And I think Boston won tonight, but I think it was a pretty close game. Like
Boston's still good though.
Yeah, and Seattle hung in there, so that's why
Seattle's beaten San Jose twice. So
yes, they're famously perfect against the Sharks and their franchise's long storied history. So yes.
All right. Should we do emails first?
Sure. Let's do emails first. We're gonna skip Friday 5 whatever
fries?
Or 3 fries of the week.
It's your segment. You can't remember.
I know it's my segment. I butchered it. So we both agree it's Couture's number 1 fry this week. So you say
Paul.
Couture.
Paul's back.
Okay.
I think he said 2, but I'm unsure. Emails are hard. Also, I have Locked on Sharks and my 2 personal emails all filtering into the same app in the inbox. So I'm sure I could switch, but I'm too lazy. Okay, Paul. It's titled In Regards to Bob's Replacement. Like where your head's at already, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't address us. -1 point.
But Paul, we're already on a,
It's true. I'll give Paul a pass.
It's Paul.
Maybe like your 2022 NHL draft profile series. Thank you, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dots here, Paul. You could do a 2022 NHL new coach profile. We actually did this like 2 years ago, where we listed like 5 coaches. If you want to go back and listen to us talk about Rickard Gronberg, who we all want to sign, you can do that. But I'm sure once we get some more clarity on what the situation is going to be, we'll talk more. Paul said probably too harsh, right? Yes, but we don't shy away. Hire us, Sharks, and we will shy away.
We ask the tough questions.
We can get paid off though, Sharks. If you hire us, we won't ask any tough questions.
We won't ask any tough questions.
We'll ask what it was like to be out there on the ice. It would be fun, but I'm sure that it wouldn't help your chances to become employed by the organization. You never know. They might pay us to shut up. If they paid us a bunch of money to just never do the podcast again, I'd be fine with that. Like if they gave me like $10,000 to just never tweet, I would be like, all right, see ya, moving to Australia. Paul then followed up with just a thought. Clearly, JD's not on my side on that one.
I do like doing the podcast.
Yeah, but $10,000. Anyway, just a thought. In the hurdle stakes, I want a wild trade that brings us back Marco Rossi. You have to have a future center for Eklund. Yes, probably not gonna happen. Did I read the? Oh yeah, that was the Yaroslav. Paul emailed before the Yaroslav hurdle email. Questions. How do we realistically get rid of Brent Burns? Talk about that in the summer.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, don't.
I would think this,
unless he decides he wants to go somewhere.
That's what he follows up with. Yeah. I would think this guy wants a shot at a cup. Maybe we just eat half of his salary just to make him go away, or involve a third team to eat even more salary. The Sharks were trying to do with the Kane contract earlier this year. Can he be moved? And who would take him? All good questions for the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is that Coach Bob's contract is done at the end of this year. We can all see that clearly. He needs to go away.
What more?
Not our words. So who should or would you bring in to take over this team? And then he followed up with, and I too approve of the Raising Cane's crinkle cut fries with the cane sauce. You guys are weirdos.
It's so good.
I've never had Raising Cane's. I've never even seen one, so I don't know if you're weirdos or not.
Somebody else
crinkle cut.
Somebody else messaged us on our YouTube about the sauce. The Raising Cane sauce is amazing.
Those seem to be the only 2 emails. And then we did the Joseph email. Still waiting on the Fry PowerPoint. Haven't got that yet. Okay, I think we have some reviews.
Just one review showed up. So, all right, best Sharks podcast, 5 stars from Ty _Alcarada. Anyway, the content boys, no Z, -1, are easily the best Sharks podcast. Also, one of the best sports podcasts, period, available. They're funny and entertaining, while not engaging in shilling for the Sharks front office and providing insight and relevant coverage, as well as looking towards the future of our favorite team. Aside for their unreasonable hate for Kane and Nieto, both brown men. Okay, first, before I go on,
we're not racist.
We're not like Nieto. We just said seems like a perfectly fine dude, perfectly fine hockey player. He just doesn't float our boats. That's all. And Kane's a piece of shit. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not sorry, actually. He's just a bad person. I don't know what else to explain to you. If you like domestic abusers or whatever, you do you, man. But yeah. They're both
also we like Matt Nieto. He's just not very that good.
Yeah, again, as a hockey player, he just doesn't float our boat.
He's perfectly fine 4th liner, but he gets played on the 2nd line sometimes.
Yes. So we just they're both the bee's knees and have sold me on Bill bars instead of built bars, as well as gambling my mortgage and buying my car parts on their advertising partners' websites. Thanks, content boys, BOIZ. So again, -1 point there for the incorrect usage of boys. Yeah. C+ review.
Thanks for the 5 stars, though. Don't you?
Thanks for the 5 stars. I give that review 3 stars.
We're not racists.
That's Dakota's in the background there. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see my dog. So that's worth it.
All right. The only fry of the week is James Reimer.
And Logan Couture. There's 2. They can share the large fry. So
Maybe it's a crinkle cut Raising Cane's Friday.
With the Raising Cane's Friday.
Anyway, it's Friday. I'm tired.
It is Friday.
Corporate, don't listen to this podcast. Please just burn this one.
They're too busy.
Locked On Sharks, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
We're almost at 1,500 Twitter followers, which is insane.
Yeah, those aren't even bots. Like, I'm sure like our personal accounts have like 200 to 300 people in there that just don't have Twitter accounts anymore, or like are a friend that followed you when you made your account like 10 years ago and don't tweet anymore. Locked On Sharks, real, all 1,500 real. We don't purchase our followers like other people.
Everyone's
other
been verified.
The Shark podcast.
Verified and certified real follower.
I don't know about that San Jose Barracuda account that followed us. I don't know how they got a check mark. JD puts up all the work there. You can interact with us. You guys know the deal. LockedOnSharks@gmail.com. We clearly read some emails. If you haven't emailed us, thank you for your service. YouTube, Locked On Sharks. I think we're almost at 600.
We are almost at 600.
Yeah. Marching towards 400. Marching towards 1,000. 400 left. Listen to us. Spotify, Amazon, Apple, the usual suspects. You can find us other places too if you listen to that, like some sort of podcatcher. JD, is that my fry? My.
I'm at my fry hole. Kyle is at
fry.
Kyle Demetrius. He's very, very tired. Actually, he's so tired when he texted me and said he was tired. He just said, I'm super today. So good for you being super.
I did.
Yes. Thank you for making us your first listen. As always, go check out many of the other Locked On podcasts, such as Locked On Bets, Locked On Fantasy Hockey. Go check out Locked On Bruins, Locked On Kraken if you want to learn more about the teams the Sharks are facing this weekend. I might, depending on how I feel this weekend, I might do a live thing. Maybe I'll see if I can wrangle Kyle into doing it. We'll see. Keep an eye out on the YouTube. So, and then we'll be back next week with more stuff. So,
what about Locked On Bulls? Go listen to Locked On Bulls.
Go listen to Locked On Bulls. Sure. Bye, friends.